Anarchy in the UK. Well, at least in Whitehall. Let's go back to Matthew Thompson, who is now near the Treasury on Whitehall. Matthew, hi.
Nigel, it's just got a little bit more aggressive again in the last 10 minutes or so. In particular, two things have happened. There was a group of journalists. I didn't get to speak to them to ask who they were, but they were essentially hounded away from Downing Street by a quite angry group of aggressive protesters, all of whom were screaming, "F the Daily Mail." So it's possible that they identified themselves as Daily Mail journalists and basically got hounded away from Whitehall under police protection. And it looked a little bit as though it was going to get nasty, but they managed to get out on time. So it is a troubling moment when journalists are harassed simply for doing their job. And then even more recently than that, in the last 5 minutes or so, there was a squad of some 12 police officers, ordinary unarmed police officers, who were perhaps moving away from Downing Street and basically got followed by an angry crowd screaming obscenities and abuse into their face as they walked past the Treasury and down towards St James's Park. And again, it looked as though things were about to get nasty. There wasn't any physical violence that I could see, but certainly a great deal of intimidation, and several police vans have turned up, including what look like territorial support units, who are not quite full-scale riot police, but let's say crowd control police unit of the Met. Now, the blue vans that they often travel in have pulled up. They haven't got out of those blue vans, so we haven't got to a stage where there are crowd control or riot police required on the streets, but it has got a little bit more menacing. I just wonder, I mean, this is slightly speculation, Nigel, but I do wonder, when last we spoke I said the crowd was drifting away, and we may now be left to some extent with a slightly more hardcore group of supporters, or protesters rather, who are here to potentially cause a little bit of trouble. But as of yet, there isn't anything beyond obscenities and shouting, but it has just got a little bit more unpleasant in the last 15-20 minutes.
And this was a Black Lives Matter march. Is it possible? I mean, are these people wearing ANTIFA masks, or do we know who they are?
No, as of yet, no. Doesn't seem to be, as far as I can see, an ANTIFA presence. It's still a very similar looking crowd to the crowd that's been here all day. Very much multi-ethnic, mixed, young people, people not, there's by no means everyone here wearing balaclavas and here to cause trouble. So it looks like the same crowd that we've had for the whole day, and it has to be said they are remaining largely peaceful, although they are clearly making their voices heard. There isn't yet an active sense of a violent rump or anything like that, but it just does feel as though it could go either way, and there is, as I say, a struggle almost in the crowd itself between those who are trying to calm the tensions and suppress everything and any whiff of violence, and perhaps those who are a little bit more carried away with themselves.
Matthew, thank you. Now, the Home Secretary today